So Kenton Turner, I'm an industry solutions consultant. Last month I was the solutions architect, but somebody decided that architect frightens too many C-level execs, so they put me in a technical box. So I've changed this, and you'll start to see there's a European team now, pre-sales orientated people like myself, that are here to support you in the field, generating opportunity, progressing those opportunities through to close, and actually taking the purchase orders and moving this stuff forward. And everything you see in the slide deck that's coming up is really about enabling you to have that journey and get to it in a reasonable time instead of what you've seen in IoT over the last few years, which is POCs and POCs and POCs, and never anything really getting to operational a lot of the time. So I work out of a European team. I'm based in the UK. I have a colleague here with me today, Gabor. You'll be entertained by later on. Gabor is our Cisco interfacing specialist. My industry solutions piece, we've all been given one. So I'm a general IoT analytics. I have a background. I'm very old, so I've got quite a lot of experience in different things. Very good IBM data, and I came from the Informix piece. I was acquired by IBM way back. My industry expertise is transport and logistics. And you'll see there are 4 key industry areas that tech data are taking forward. One is transport and logistics. Transport and logistics really hemmed in. You've got a lot of application software around it, but it's really about asset tracking and location. It's understanding where something is, how healthy it is, can I have access to it, is it on time, is it going to get to where it needs to get to, that kind of thing. So I'll start to step through some of these slides. So what we're going to try and cover through, I've only got 20 minutes or so in an effort, a vain effort to stay on time, maybe keep the questions towards the end. I will be here in the bar later, so we can we've got some demos downstairs we can show you as well, some of the things on here. So really about the business unit and where we fit. We're part of the AS team, so we have joined together IoT, Analytics and Cognitive in one team. The market opportunity, you're probably very aware of this, or you probably wouldn't be here. Our place, how tech data fit in the universe or the world that is IoT. And then we'll look at some of the, we'll look at clearly the importance of the ecosystem. Some use cases. These are our 4 key industry areas that we're going down the line of. Manufacturing, retail, transport and logistics, and smart spaces. If you think about it, we probably capture just about every use case you can think of in those 4. But it does give us a bit of a focus to look at. And then we'll go to the next steps. You will have seen this many, many times. The one I try and pick out a lot when I present this slide is the 115,000 reseller customers. That's probably the most important thing on here. Get the fact we've got scale, so we can definitely help and take things to market at a broad level. But it's 115,000, it's you guys. It's you that makes us successful, and our mission in life is to help you be successful, so that you make us successful. But that's the basis of that one. So what is IoT Analytics and Cognitive? Most of the existing tech data partner base are into the enterprise of software. You're not necessarily OT guys, you're not making panels and sensors and gateways and devices, you're more on the enterprise software side. So I hope you'll get this whole data lifecycle piece, the data journey. I mean, it's kind of where we're at. IoT, if you really think about it, as we go around the wheel here, the IoT is really about how you get up-to-date, real-time data and bring that in. Once you start getting the integration piece, it's not just the temperature in this room, it's understanding what the weather's like outside, how many people are in here, what's the air quality, is there something I can do to make it better, that sort of thing. It's understanding different data sources. So there's a big piece of data integration in our story. Yes, reporting, analytics, visualizing of the data, that's part of the cycle. But it really comes full circle when you get into the cognitive side. You start doing the machine learning and these sort of things. Cognitive implies also, and there are some key elements to make this available and make it happen. Security is the key one. Once security is nailed, and we have it on its way now, but once it's there, is that not working? Thank you. I can hear myself now. Yeah, once you've got security fixed, there are a few other things as well, but once you get to that point, the nirvana is the cognitive guy is actually going to start to affect the edge world through the IoT. So it's complete closed loop. We change something without you even being aware of it. We fix something, we monitor something, all those sort of things as we go forward. So that's kind of the cycle. That's why it's been brought together as a single business unit inside Tech Data. So all of us can talk a bit about IoT, but we've also got backgrounds in analytics and AI. So market opportunity. It's all about the top half is what the market's doing. So you've got the IT, OT convergence, and the OT is that the edge world. I like the term edge to enterprise. There's all sorts of different ones out there, sitting room to server room and things like that. But edge to enterprise fits for me. It's that coming together of the convergence. This is going to happen, whether we like it, want it, encourage it, help it, try to stop it. It will happen. It will become fabric in everyday items when you start to buy this stuff. The opportunity today is take advantage of that, be ready, get into the retrofit space, because that's where the money is right now, and then adopt and embrace the fabric as it's being developed. It is going to be disruptive in the market. I'm probably going on too long on this one slide, but the numbers stack up. The latest one that I put in yesterday was that big data analytics. I mean, what you're looking at here is compound growth of 11.9 and 16 in the IoT space. So this is the hot area. This is the area where you're going to grow your businesses. So what are we doing? Actually, the third point there is the one that really comes out of this. And there's some slides to support it as we go through. If you've been delivering solutions to your customers, and this is the key part, your customers are looking to buy more solutions-orientated things now instead of just buying components and putting it together themselves. They want a solution from you. They want software as a service delivered to them with an SLA. All the complexity hidden. If you get into this IoT space and you start to look at the edge, so how do I get that data, a sensor? How do I get that data into something I can use? I need a gateway device, some kind of communication methodology, something to bring it up onto a cloud platform where I can surface it and do something with it. All of these things, there is no single vendor out there that can deliver that to you. Some think they might be able to do a large part of it, but they can't do it on their own. They have to partner, they have to have an ecosystem. It opens the door for someone like a Tech Data to step in, and you'll see the next slides talk about how we fit in this ecosystem going forward, where we can actually take some of that complexity away. He says, there's the one. So, new term. Hopefully you've seen it before. It's starting to gain ground. IoT solution aggregator. Very different to solutions that you may have heard in the past, implementation people, things like this. This is the aggregator role. And if you think about all the components you might have to build to get to an IoT-based solution, and these are the 6 main pillars, and we'll go through these on the next slide as well. Tech Data will take all of that and enable you over there on the left-hand side, the partner, to go and have a conversation with your customer around business outcomes. What we're really about is putting resources, time, energy to enable you to have that conversation. Yeah? So those are those 6 pillars with a few of the items that fit in each of those pillars. OT on this side, operational technology is the term, the edge world as such. And on the right-hand side of the chart there, 6 columns. I mean, that's where the majority of our existing customer base sits. And what we're trying to do is join those 2 worlds together in a seamless way and help you as we go through. So we've got security business now that's looking to underwrite all of the stuff we're doing here around that. We've got a services and consulting practice. I've got a slide that talks about some of their skills. The services and consulting business is there to complement what you do. They will never compete with you. They will never go to market direct. That may have been the case in the past under the Avnet piece with Tech Data. That doesn't exist. So it's all there to complement you and fill gaps. And then we've got what we call integrated market-ready solutions factory. And in essence, it's about pre-qualifying some of this stuff, pre-integrating some of this stuff. So we'll take sensors from one vendor, we'll take a gateway from another, we'll pre-integrate the data out through a connection platform and surface it for you to do your thing. And you can take that with a single part number from Tech Data and consume it as you would the business model. So it might be software as a service, monthly billing, those things. We can fix all of those things as well. When you're looking at this, have a little thought about where you may fit in it. Because I'm thinking one of those boxes, maybe 2 of those boxes is where your business is today. If you're going to go out and have an IoT-based conversation with your customer, then we can fill the gaps. So you can have that end-to-end conversation with the customer. So in each of those columns, there are vendors. This is a sample set. There's been quite a lot of focus over the last So I came across as part of the Avnet acquisition. So I've been doing this now for pretty much 5 years. So a few with Avnet and then brought into this business with tech data. And if you'd have shown that slide a couple of years ago, this side would have been pretty naked, nothing up there at all. Now we've gone out and recruited a complete set of business partners in that space, and these are now available to us. I'm not 100% convinced about how many of these are available right today in Sweden, but we can cross those bridges. Most of these guys are on European contracts. It's just country documents we need to fill in. So we can make this happen. So what we're starting to do is bring, some of these names on here, Schneider, you guys are familiar with Schneider Electric, APC for the power supply things, but Schneider are one of the world's largest distribution panels, power monitoring, things like this. We've integrated their power tags. I'll talk about a couple of use cases of that. So basically I can go to a distribution panel here, add two little tags, one on the input, one on the output, and I can now monitor that in the cloud. It's as simple as that. We can bring it up onto a cloud platform. Retrofits and most things. Lots of different vendors on there. We've signed Vodafone, although they're not here in Sweden, but they've got a relationship with Tele2. So they're roaming things. One of the demos that you'll see today is a tracker demo in transport and logistics, and that's got a Vodafone embedded SIM in it. We have the rights, Tech Data have the right to distribute all the M2M, so machine-to-machine SIMs. We're not into 3G, 4G with them. We're into machine specific, so it's IoT specific. The interesting part, the next generation of stuff that's coming is NB-IoT, and Vodafone are leading a lot of the conversations in that, and as that starts to get adopted, you'll start to see other things start to fall away. Things like Sigfox, and some of those other technologies that are out there, you'll start to see those move. We going okay so far? Not a lot of motion out there. Right. Very brief. We have services skills not only through ourselves, so this could also incorporate your skill sets, because what we're looking is building a vibrant ecosystem. So you buy software from us, you buy hardware from us, from technology from us. Actually, we might buy stuff back from you. We could introduce you and broker you into some of these conversations if your skills fit some of these things. If not, we have them. If not, we go to vendors. The point is that what we're trying to say is if you've got an opportunity with a customer, give us a call. We can pretty much get involved in some way, shape or form and enable you to do that opportunity with your client. Obviously qualification, those sort of things, so it's not everything, but pretty much. There's not much we can't do now. I say these guys are not going direct to market, but they have done market generation work. So a lot of the stuff you'll see, like interactive chatbots, was part of a Nexa Hotel thing we did with IBM and Watson in London. An interesting project. I've got a demo I can show downstairs on that one as well. It's really starting to use a different way of managing hotels and how you interact with buildings. It's the big part of it. But that was done as a piece with these guys. So how are we going to market? There are 4 industry areas, and we're trying, as I say, we're trying to make it accessible for all of your customers through you, through us. So if you look at the triangle there, what we've got at the top are bespoke. You know, somebody comes up and says, have you got something, something like Rolls-Royce in the UK, big Maximo partner. So the Maximo guys that manage that site, IBM Maximo, they came to us and said, there's a question being asked, can we help with some of the predictive analytics and maintenance around a fault they have? This is engine test equipment. So it's not the engines themselves, which are very highly automated and they have lots of sensors on them. This is the actual test rigs. And they came to us and they wanted a strain gauge that you could put into a very hostile environment. I didn't even know you could buy weldable strain gauges, but you can. So we came up with a scenario around that, very bespoke. It's past phase 1 testing, but you're now another 9 months before it gets a CE stamp and they can actually purchase it. Very, very long cycle to get into that stuff. So bespoke, yes, we will do them. It's good to get out there. It's good to hear new use cases and get involved, but we don't want to do that many. We just limit that. What you will get better at is where the repeatable solutions piece comes in, and that's where the solutions factory starts to put some of this stuff together for you so you can go out. A lot of the use cases we'll talk about in a few minutes come with starter kits. So you can buy an instance of it very quickly, very easily, take it out to your customer and be into a trial and moving it forward. That's the pre-integrated solutions factory piece. And then we've got the products at the back end, which is the core of our business. Again, a number of different vendors up there you might recognize. I guess quite a few you probably don't recognize. And we'll go through on the use case and you'll get an idea of where they're coming from. Solution factory, it's a complicated slide, but basically it means that we take this stuff, we test it, we validate it, we make sure it works, we then put a commercial model around it so that people can take it forward. And it's working with vendors, it's working with partners. You know, if you come up, let's say you go and do something next week and it's something you can repeat, then there's always the opportunity for you to actually start becoming not a partner of ours anymore, but maybe a vendor. And maybe we take you to market to our other pieces. We've seen partners do that route now, going the full cycle around, about repeatable solutions. And it's really about trying to get to a market opportunity quicker. Instead of taking 3 months and 9 months on pilots and POCs, you can really deliver this very quickly. Every solution factory solution will have a tested certification, a confidence factor is what we're calling it. You might get one with a 1-star. It's got sales assets. We've looked at it. It sounds like a good idea. Let's put it out there. There's quite a few of those around. As you come down through the list, we put more into it. This is tech data, spending our time and energy with our deep technical teams back in the UK and in Spain, going through this stuff and creating collateral. What we will eventually get to, and all of the things that we're talking about as use cases have got to 3 and 4 stars. And I've got a little video that talk about where we got and why this stuff was developed to get to that level. And this is where you get starter kits, you'll get demonstration stuff, you'll get a use case, you'll get a battle card. I'll show you a couple of battle cards. And the battle card basically is the questions you ask. It's when you go and see your customer, ask him these questions. And if you get yes, 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 you've probably got an opportunity we can help you with. So it's giving you sales collateral to take to market. This didn't come to Sweden. This was an idea of our outgoing VP last year. Victor Paradell was the tech data VP. Craig Smith is the new guy. He came across from Avnet with us. But this was Victor's idea. I actually didn't think this was a good idea because I've seen this in IBM with the server trucks and storage trucks, and it's a very lonely life out there demoing hardware in trucks. But I was completely proved wrong. Now we wish we'd built it permanently because everybody says, can you bring the truck? 20 stops, 11 cities. We had all these demos. We produced every single one of these demos and had it on the truck, up and running. They are the foundation of our solution factory assets with different vendors on board. Every single one started with a sensor, went up through a cloud platform. The cloud platform in most of these cases was either Cisco Kinetic or Microsoft Azure. And we actually had the two working together, which is the first I think that had happened. The Cisco guys were quite keen on that. All going through a Vodafone 4G SIM with Cisco hardware out onto a cloud platform. And everyone was real, live, and I'm ruining the video actually, so bear with me.
This is really a great opportunity to see how the Internet of Things can be in real life, concrete, tangible. It's no PowerPoint. This is really about seeing the sensors, touching the devices, watching the analytics in real life.
So I'm here today supporting Tech Data, one of our value-added distributors, with their IoT on Wheels event. Aruba and Tech Data have a couple of solutions in the truck surrounding smart offices. We've had great feedback here from the vendors. What we're seeing is that vendors find IoT difficult to take to market on their own, and what we're bringing is as an ecosystem of vendors and bringing the vendors' technology together in a way that our partners can consume and rapidly take to market. They're able to then kind of expand that into a conversation with the partners and really help them to drive the conversation as to delivering an end-to-end outcome-based solution for the partners' customers.
So many IoT projects over the last few years, because everyone's had to treat them like science projects, they've taken years to get to value. Tech Data have got this really nice portfolio of projects where they've already succeeded, and it's almost getting to a point where you can go into some customers and go, look, this is what's been done, which one do you want? And you can almost have an out-of-the-box solution, so much faster time to value.
So there's a lot of buzz and hype around IoT. It's hard to cut through that noise. So we've brought the IoT on Wheels show to our partners' doorsteps to help them see what's real, what's tangible, what they can sell, and how to discuss it with their partners.
Tech Data is one of our strategic partners. They're a major distributor for Cisco globally, and we're moving into the Internet of Things space together as a team. because you need to have multiple players working together to have a value proposition that's very concise, clear and relevant for the customer base. Tech Data helping blend Cisco Kinetic technology also with multiple other vendors like Panduit to really go after completely new use cases in the world of IoT.
The important thing to remember is the Internet of Things, the way it's been packaged together with Tech Data, Vodafone and other vendors, is a fantastic opportunity to change the conversation with your clients and have a conversation that is less about technology and more about the business outcomes.
So the relationship between IFM and Tech Data, together we're trying to develop a means of taking plant-level machinery into the 21st century.
Industry 4.0 is the next industrial revolution hitting manufacturing at this time, and people now and suppliers like ourselves have to partner to bring a full digitalisation realisation to IoT space within manufacturing.
Manufacturing is really an inflection point of really trying to reap the benefits of industrial IoT. We're here today demonstrating the Panduit environmental health condition monitoring for industrial applications.
Tech Data are a true value-added distributor, meaning they take technology from Aruba and other companies and build that into complete solutions that they make available to the reseller partners to sell on to customers.
Tech Data assist the whole profile of how we go to customer. Their contact level is much higher, board of director and CEO level, so it brings us really into a high level contact area.
So one of the key benefits we found partners of ours have experienced on the show so far is understanding their place within that value chain around IoT. So whether their background is application development, analytics or security, they're really starting to understand their place in that ecosystem, how they can expand on that to drive a proposition around IoT.
IoT on Wheels is an exciting way to show the work that we've already done, to take the message out to a lot of partners and a lot of people, to show just how exciting the IoT opportunity is. There's something that everybody can take advantage of here.
Okay, I've been given the hurry up already, so I've got like 2 or 3 minutes to run this through very quickly. These are the demos and starter kits effectively that we'll put together for the IoT on Wheels truck. Everyone is at minimum 3-star solution factory asset, and we can talk you through all of these downstairs when we get a few minutes after this pitch. I will run very quickly just through a couple of these in the different areas. Again, this is our four main industry areas, and then what you're going to start to see, I'll just do a couple of these very quickly. So in retail, this is the collateral that's being created for you. So you've got basically the sort of business outcomes you're looking at from an intelligent inventory management system. This is the technology set that's been put together. A lot of it is from a vendor called Kenton. Kenton are an RFID vendor. They started out life doing the technology. So this is leading edge RFID. If you look behind a lot of other people that do smart gates in stores and ski lifts and things like that, it's got Kenton antenna, it's got Kenton readers. A lot of OEM business goes through this technology. What these guys have done is take it up a level and integrated a full suite of retail orientated. So it's got a cloud platform, it's got real live inventory management systems. I can walk you through some of the stuff downstairs. I have access to the demos, and we can talk through some of these things. But this is the next big stuff that's happening. Everywhere you go today in retail, people are still using barcodes, they're still using acoustic magnetic theft systems, which are just saying someone's stolen a tag. It doesn't tell you it's stolen a blue pair of trousers, or it's a guy with a green trolley has just left carrying £1,000 worth of goods. You can get to that level of asset accuracy with RFID. And now it's becoming very much cost effective. I mean, printable tags are sub-pennies. You print them out and use them and throw them away. They're becoming very disposable. And when I can read a printable passive tag from 5 meters away, that gives me quite a lot of scope of what I can do with the technology. So, intelligent instrument, and then you get the battle card that goes with it. Okay? So I won't go through all of these. I'll just say to you basically, thank you for your time. We are here for the rest of the day. I've got a few demos downstairs. I've got a transport and logistics one that I do want to have a look at, and you can see how we're tracking things around in Sweden and see how that works. But I say, thank you for your time. Catch you a bit later.
Thank you very much, Kenton.